go to the Virgin Islands, and I'm gonna do a little bit of pre-packing, and so just kind of wanted to start that process for us. So Virgin Islands, we're staying on St. John, and we are going to be staying at the national park. We'll go, we've got a cottage at Cinnamon Bay Campground, which is reopened after the hurricane hit a couple years ago. It wiped out the campground and just did a bunch of damage to that island, but we are, they're back in business, so we're gonna go stay there. Main thing that we're gonna do while we are on the Virgin Islands is we are going to snorkel. St. John is supposed to be just beautiful beaches and beautiful snorkeling and all of that stuff, so we're really excited. So we got flippers, snorkel masks. These are nice because they give you kind of more of a full view. They're more of a 360 mask. We got some filters for the GoPro. So I got these filters, and then, but like I've been watching and I've been asking other people, they don't really use filters. So like in all of their videos that I've seen are really gorgeous, but I also have this grip handle that's, that'll float, and that you can specifically use for snorkeling, if you can see the back of that. So I'm excited to be able to use this as well. Then we've got our snorkeling vests. So I gotta get these in there too. Okay, back to packing for my trip. We're only 2 days away to St. John, Virgin Islands, US Virgin Islands. And I'm just gonna take a look at what the weather is gonna look like while we're there. To the airport. We're at our gate and we are taking off at about 7:15. It's currently 5:45.
Federal regulations prohibit smoking, including the use of e-cigarettes.
Remember to like and subscribe to get notified about our latest content.
Okay, so I'm a little bit more awake now. We made it to Charlotte. We are waiting for our flight to St. Thomas. That's how we're getting to St. John. We're staying at the national park there, and we are flying into St. Thomas. We'll land about 4 o'clock local time, and then we got to take a taxi down to the docks, get on a ferry, a foot ferry, to go over to St. John, and then we'll call our car rental company when we get there, and they'll meet us at the docks with our Jeep Wrangler. So yeah, we were gonna go through St. Croix, but because they had really cheap flights to St. Croix, but it was really expensive to get over to St. John from St. Croix, so we decided to go the St. Thomas route. So we'll see you when we get there.
we're on the ferry. We made it to the ferry. We had to drop a bunch of people off at the resort. So if you're ever coming to St. Thomas, flying into St. Thomas to go to St. John, just know that you're not going to get on the ferry immediately because you are going to have to get into a taxi that goes to some different places before you get to the ferry terminal. But you want Red Hook, and that is the ferry that we're on. We're hoping we'll get there in about, I don't know, 45 minutes or so, and then we got to get our...
We got into the campground late, and the next morning we drove back to Cruz Bay, which is the main town on the island, to get some groceries.
Welcome to Virgin Islands National Park.
In the U.S. Virgin Islands, you drive on the left side of the road, but the steering wheel is on the left side, just like it is on the mainland. It was an adventurous drive with all the switchbacks in the road. That afternoon, we hit the beach at Cinnamon Bay and tried out some snorkeling. As we snorkel, you will notice that the coral is white and looks dead. That is due to the coral bleaching that is taking place all around the globe. The coral around the Virgin Islands National Park has been hit hard by stony coral tissue loss disease. This is an infectious waterborne disease that impacts hard coral species and damages entire reefs. Warming ocean water is exacerbating this disease.
Bleaching is the result of warmer than usual water temperatures, killing off the coral's resident microbial organisms. In late September 2023, the water temps were recorded at 87.3 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the warmest water temps recorded in the past 30 years. The most recent bleaching episode in the U.S. Virgin Islands was due to three things. In September 2017, two Category 5 hurricanes hit St. John, Irma and Maria, and arrived only 2 weeks apart. A bad case of stony coral tissue disease struck and caused considerable coral mortality. Whatever coral survived the hurricanes is now in an environment that's being destroyed by this coral disease. Finally, the latest period of global coral bleaching caused by El Nino that began last summer is expected to worsen.
But it's not all doom and gloom. We still got to see some patches of coral with life still present.
just out snorkeling, and it was okay. There was a few fish, but we had only gone out a little ways, and I had on the pink, I think it was a pink filter, to see what that would do underwater. That would make the water stand out a little bit more blue. And I think what we're going to do here in a little bit, once Kit catches his breath, is we're going to go out to that island, and we're going to snorkel around that island there.
Just fine, and then I'm just laying here watching.
All right, whatever.
The waters around Cinnamon Bay include a myriad of fish species, including blue tang, parrotfish, butterfly fish, damselfish, snapper, and angelfish, just to name a few. Today the water is a little murky, but it's the best that we get on the Atlantic Ocean or north side of the island for the majority of our trip. After today, the waters get pretty rough on this side of the island, making the water too murky for snorkeling.
In fact, in a few days, Cinnamon Bay Beach will put out the red warning flag, warning beachgoers that the surf is rough and the riptides are strong. But don't worry, this isn't the best day of snorkeling. Just wait until we get to the Caribbean side of the island. Join us for part 2 of the U.S. Virgin Islands, where we showcase more of St. John and the U.S. Virgin Islands National Park. See you next time on Roadies Roam the World.